Hi there, it's Suzanne here today, and what we're going to do is make these super cute little ornaments that hang on a tree. They're not just ornaments, they're lanterns. Each design comes with a full set of letters and numbers so you can personalize each one. Make a whole village for your tree, personalize them with names or dates, or craft a mini neighborhood to give as handmade gifts. You can even make 25 of them and use them for Advent. You can find them all in my Silhouette Design Store, and I'll put the link to the design store down below in the description. Before we get started assembling the project, I wanted to show you what your project would look like when it's brought into Silhouette. When you open it up, it should show the print and cut designs. Now you'll see there's a full set of letters and numbers here, and you won't probably want them all, but ungroup them and you can pick and choose the letters that you want. You can duplicate letters that you'll need 2 of or 3 of. Highlight everything you don't want and move it off to the side. And then you can do the magical print and cut. Once that's done, you can go ahead and cut all the other elements, and you probably don't need all those little squares that back the letters and numbers, so only choose the number of squares that you're going to need for your project. Maybe a few extra. Okay, now we're ready to assemble things. So pull out all your bits and pieces that you cut and some supplies for putting things together. So I like my adhesives, you can see them there, and a bone folder, and well, gee, that's about it. Maybe a pair of tweezers. I've chosen to assemble the snowy cabin because it's probably the hardest one to assemble. When I say hard, it's the chimney. It's really the chimney that's hard. But let's start with the absolute easiest, and that is the roof. Let's fold that in half. Now let's do the cabin. And I just wanted to show you there's a little slice there because there is a trap door to get the light in. And I didn't want you to think it was a flaw in the design. So I'm speeding up this part of the video because you don't need to watch me fold everything. It's a good idea to burnish down all the score lines. And don't forget that little tab. Now let's go ahead and add the vellum over the windows, or you don't need to add the vellum if you don't want to. That's up to you. I just added a few tiny glue dots around the edges. Now we're going to add some adhesive to the flaps. Now let's form the cabin shape. And here's how you close the bottom. And there's that little tab, and it goes into a slit. And it can be tricky, but you don't want it too loose or else it'll fall open all the time. Now let's add the roof. I like to open up the bottom for this because it makes it easier positioning the roof. Match the peak of the roof to the peak of the cabin and work your way down one side, just at the front. Use your finger inside to push up the flap. And then do the other side. And then go to the back of the cabin, and pretty much everything kind of falls into place. The next step is to fold up the snow for the roof and stick it on. And now it's time to make the chimney. It's a little finicky because it's very small and it has some very sketchy bits. Fold up all the perforated score lines and tabs. That long piece is the part that attaches to the roof. Once you've folded all the tabs and score lines, add adhesive to the tab shown. And form the chimney. I think I might have had too much coffee today. There we go, that's what it looks like. Now we have to take that flap and fold it in under the long flap. Once that's done, we can attach it to the roof of the cabin. Apply adhesive to the long strip here and just stick it right on. To finish the chimney, just take the thin strip of snow and you'll find there's some tiny little score lines on there, and just fold those and then adhere the snow to the very top of the chimney. Just like that. Now we want to wrap the snow around the base of the cabin. Fold along all the little perforated score lines. There's only 3, and there should be 4, but I didn't want to lock us into that last corner because it depends on the weight of cardstock that you've used, how long that piece needs to be. So we're going to add some adhesive along the back, and we're going to start midway along one side of the cabin. And when you get to the last corner, you get to create your own fold, and then overlap the 2 end pieces. Well, there, pretty darn cute. Now the last few things, and one is to add ribbon or cord, and you might be able to stuff it straight through, but I like to use a dental floss threader. It works like a big needle. And you're going to want to open the hatch at the bottom and put in a light source. Now these are balloon lights, and I like those because they don't take up much space. They do roll around a little bit inside the cabins, but they will fit a regular sized tea light. Now, the only thing about tea lights that I don't like is that when you close it up, you'll see the base of the tea light. The balloon lights are much smaller, but I haven't found ones that flicker yet. I'm still looking. And the last step is to add the little letters to their backing so you can mount them on the cabin and they'll look really cute. So all the houses and cabins are made virtually the same way, but they don't all have chimneys or snow to complicate things. I hope you've enjoyed this project. I really enjoyed making them. I think they're adorable. Let me know if you have any questions. Contact me on my website if you do. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.